Hey everyone, it is Luke from Up North Collectors here on the Bench Clear Media Network, and I am bringing you another episode of Turning a Profit Tuesday. This will be the first one on the Bench Clear channel. I've been putting these out for a little while on Up North Collectors. Took a break for a couple weeks, went on vacation, had some other stuff going on, but I am back at it here. So getting into kind of the past 3 weeks of what I bought. If you've never watched this before, first off, welcome. Second off, what I do here is I pretty much just show you guys what I bought for the week, kind of what I'm putting my money into in terms of sports card investments, and then if I make sales or have, I'm selling stuff, what I sold that for, what kind of profits I made or losses depending on, the situation. But mostly just kind of showing you guys what I'm buying. Most of the stuff I have not been selling because I'm holding it till the sports season actually gets going. That should be very, very fun, A, as a spectator, and B, as an investor, to kind of see, what happens to some of the card purchases that I've made and to the overall market in general. So let's get into what I bought. This is kind of for the past 3.5 to almost 4 weeks of what I purchased. So I actually went on ComC. I'd heard someone talk about him a little while ago, and I actually watched a lot of Mavericks games. I don't really have a favorite basketball team, but if I were to pick one that I would, choose to watch, it'd probably be the Mavericks. Big Luka fan. And I like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kristaps as well, and I actually bought cards of both of those guys. So Tim Hardaway Jr., very, very solid player. He's starting, and he does occasionally come off the bench, but he almost always starts for the Mavs. And he is a pretty undervalued player in my opinion right now. So he was a rookie in 2013-14, came up with the Knicks. 13-14 Panini Prism, Tim Hardaway Jr. base rookie card. I bought 21 of those on ComC. Check out my cards marketplace where you can buy and sell, kind of like eBay, except you don't actually have to get the card shipped to you. So I bought 21 of them on there for $30.98. Cost per card at $1.48. Now I think these could easily go up from $1.48 if the Mavs actually win a series and he does well in the playoffs. He has a 20-point game. His stuff may actually see, an increase just because he's not really worth anything right now. So kind of flip over here to what his stats look like. eBay comps, there's not a ton of them. People aren't really buying his stuff. But it goes for exactly what it goes for on ComC. Check out Star Stock as well. I'm not sure if they have them on there or not. I have to actually get more into Star Stock, buying and selling on there. Something I'm going to work on here in the next couple of weeks because it seems like a really good opportunity. But so for this year, for the Mavericks, he has played 63 games, 28.8 minutes per game. So obviously starter minutes there. Averaging 15.8 points per game, 43% from the field. 3-point percentage is up at 40%. Not really an assist, not really a rebounder, but what you want in basketball is you want someone that scores the ball. Historically, all the cards that do really, really well are people that score the ball. So someone like Tim Hardaway Jr., who gets a decent amount of points per game, has a chance to go, way up in value from $1.48 a card. So I ended up buying some other stuff of his as well. Bought a silver prism. Now the silvers back in 2013-14 are pretty short printed. There's not a whole bunch of them out there. So I ended up buying one. It was $35, which is definitely a little bit more, but once again could easily go up. These are all raw, by the way. Bought his green rookie card for $6.50. Bought one of his blue rookie die cuts out of $1.99 for $8. Bought a red, white, and blue rookie for $5.24. So that was all the Tim Hardaway that I bought. Very, very high on him. I think, it's just such a low entry point. I mean, really anyone has $1.48 to buy one rookie card. So definitely one, if you don't have a ton of money to pump into sports cards right now, would definitely recommend, going and picking one up if you want to, just because of the price point so low. I mean, this isn't necessarily investment advice. It's just It's just what I'm doing. But I think that he is a very solid, opportunity. So next guy that I've been buying a decent amount of is Kristaps Porzingis. I bought his first off-the-line green shimmer from this year's Prism on ComC as well for $40.53, numbered out at 25. Really, really cool-looking card. Not too many comps on this one, but it is one of his first in the Mavericks uniform. So I think it could go up in value if the Mavs, again, do something in the playoffs this year. Kristaps is a great defender, but can also be a scorer. Pretty lights out from three-point, actually, and pretty good in the paint, too. So I think his stuff is, in for a big uptick in value. I can't remember if I may have forgotten to put it on the sheet here. I think I did. I also bought his Prism base rookie card from 2015-16, that's what it is, 2015-16. I paid right around $40 for that. Those are now at like $55-60 a week later. But still, I think his cards are still undervalued at like $60 for a Prism rookie. So definitely something to check out there as well. Next up, a card that I've been buying, and I have 2 or 3 of these now, I can't quite remember, but a 2018 Topps Series 1 Rafael Devers Rainbow Foil rookie card. I paid $45. I paid $45 for almost all of them. I think that they're a super solid buy. I think he's going to have a breakout year. He's so young. I believe he's 21. I'm not sure if that's exactly right. Maybe 22, but he's still super young. So tons of potential upside there. And you're really not too much risk. If you want to do it on a lower scale, just go buy his base card. His base card goes for like $6. So you can pick up a base for $6 to $8 shipped. Might be something that you want to try and invest in, especially, if you don't have the 45 or 80 to put into a PSA 10 or a rainbow foil or a parallel. However, I would recommend buying parallels if you can, just because scarcity in the long run always wins, because the more scarce card, there's less of them made, obviously, so it does kind of protect you from having something, where it turns into a junk wax error or something. So it does kind of protect you from that to have something that's a lot more short printed. So another thing that I bought was a 18-19 soccer from Panini Donruss. It was a lot of, and Prism actually, 7 rookie cards of a bunch of different soccer players, played $12.85 per card. There's a lot of opportunity in soccer. Soccer is really confusing. I played soccer for a very long time, and I've watched soccer for a while. At some point, I would love to make a video explaining, kind of what soccer is, how you can invest in it. So if you'd like to see that, you can, drop a comment down below saying that you want to see that. But I think, just for the purpose of this video, to make it less complicated, I'm not really going to talk too much about it. Besides the fact that I got a really good deal, I can pretty much part it out and probably make double my money on that if I were to sell them right now. Soccer cards are really hot. Really hot. So definitely something to keep an eye on. If you are just barely getting your feet wet in soccer, look at a guy like Messi's early stuff. Look at a guy like Mbappe, Rashford, Anthony Martial, Greenwood. There's a whole bunch of other players as well. I'd love to make another video about that at some point, but not really going to talk about that too much right now. But there is a lot of opportunity in soccer. Next up, I paid $13 for a 2018-19 Panini Prism Basketball Dante DiVincenzo Green. Now the green obviously is not the most sought after parallel, but it is still a parallel. The card looks like it's in really nice condition. I just got it in the mail. It looks really solid. Maybe sending that one to grading. We'll see. But I think at $13, with the Bucks having potential to go pretty far in the playoffs this year, as long as those happen, as they should, which I am definitely hoping they do. But I think his stuff, could go way up if he does pretty well, obviously. So hopefully he does well in the playoffs and his stuff will go up. But still, once again, a really cheap entry point at $13. If he doesn't do anything, his cards go down. You're only losing $13 if they go to 0, which they're not going to. So next card that I bought was a 2015-16 Panini Prism Basketball Nikola Jokic Ruby Wave out of 350 PSA 10. Now after watching, make sure you go check out Ty from Breaker Culture. His video on here about the top 15 Prism rookies gives a lot of great insight on that. And after watching that, I saw that Nikola Jokic's stuff was rather cheap compared to some of the other people. For how good of a player he is, great scorer, great rebounder, good at defense, big body. He actually lost a ton of weight over COVID. He was kind of a chunky player before, and not really, you watch him play and you're like, dang, that guy is not, besides his size, he's not in perfect athletic shape. But now he is. I think he's going to have a good playoffs. I think the Nuggets are a solid team, and I think his stuff is underpriced. So I bought his Ruby Wave out of 350. I think I got a great deal. His base cards, I'll show you guys in a minute, all the comps for this stuff. But his base cards are going for around 410 to 425, and I paid 385 for a parallel out of 350. Pop report is way lower on these. I think there's about 56 of these in the PSA 10, and the base I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it's well over 300. So I think that'll be a very solid buy. I think that I could sell that right now, honestly, and make money on it. But I think once the playoffs get going, people will kind of start watching him. They're like, man, this guy's good. This guy's a superstar. They're going to go buy his cards, and his Prism cards have seen a huge spike, and I think they're just going to continue to go up. I also bought a 15-16 Nikola Jokic again. I bought his light blue and his purple from the same seller on eBay. The one is to $199, the other to $99. These are both raw. There's a pretty decent risk with buying raw cards on eBay, but this guy had really nice scans. You could see the condition pretty well. They both look to be decent, at least like PSA 9 or better, which is always what you kind of want to stick to buying. So I ended up paying $174 and change for those two, or for per card, so $348 in total. But I think, once again, Jokic's stuff is still undervalued, even though it's a lot higher entry point for a lot of people. It still, I think, could be a very solid investment here in the short term. And also the long term, too. I think I do see some long-term value of investing in Nikola Jokic. So the total spent for this week was a little bit over $1,000 for the past 3-4 weeks. So into the comps here, like I was saying, you can pick up Rafael Devers stuff cheap, man. I mean, $6, $9, $27 for 4. Which averages out to $7 a card, $100 for 12, another really solid deal. Just a lot of stuff like this. He's a very young player, very solid player, and now that Betts is gone, he's got a place to fill in the lineup. I think he's going to be very good this year. Fingers crossed, at least we'll see. I'm hoping that he does well, but I think at such a low entry point, this could easily be a $15 to $20 card in a month. Very easily. And then in here to the rainbow foils, I think this is an even better investment. You look at what Acuna rainbow foils, Soto rainbow foils. I know a Soto rainbow foil and a PSA 10 selling for like $600, so you figure raw. I haven't looked that up, but I think it has to be over $200 raw. And you look at a guy like Devers, $47. It's worth a shot. I mean, I own two. I think I own two. And it's one of those cards that it's a lot more scarce, cool looking. As long as it's in good condition, I think this could easily be a $100 card in a month. Easily double. I think his stuff is pretty undervalued still. So into Kristaps real quick. You can still buy Kristaps stuff pretty cheap. In terms of Prism, $60 for a card of someone, with as much potential as Kristaps. He's been hurt a decent amount, so I don't think he's really reached his full potential yet, but I think that his stuff definitely has a ton of room to go up into what I do here. Oh, I just had two of the same tabs. All right. Next up, one of my picks for the week. I did not buy any of Shai, but I would like to. I think that Shai's optic is somewhat undervalued currently. It is more expensive than other things. You could buy his Dunris stuff a lot cheaper, but still $25 for a raw optic card. You can buy his flash parallel for $30. You can still pick his stuff up pretty cheap, and he's proven to be, good. On Thunder, he's doing great. He has a very big role there as a scorer, so I think he's a guy here in the playoffs. If the Thunder do well, his stuff's going to skyrocket. Thunder win a couple series against some big teams. Even if they just win some big games and he does really well, scores 30 points a game, his stuff's going to go up from here for sure. So I think he's another guy to look into picking up. Here's some Kristaps sold. My tabs are out of order there. Sorry about that. But his stuff's already gone up, like I was saying, $132.50 for both. So you're looking at the $65, $66 range there on his stuff. I looked this one up, sold for $65. So right now, I'd say they're trending unofficially at like $66 to $65, as long as those are legitimate sales. Which is quite a $25 increase in 2 weeks of the $40 that I paid. But check out other sites as well. eBay is not always the cheapest place to buy. You can buy stuff on ComC or StarStock. You may be able to get a better deal, so make sure you check those out. Next thing here, another value pick for the week. Kristaps Hoops Rookie, $8 shipped for a Hoops Rookie. I think that could be a super solid investment. Luka, Zion stuff. way above $6. So I think this is a card that could easily 2 to 3x in the next couple months here if the Mavs do well. And if they don't, as long as he stays on the Mavs, I think in 2 to 3 years, this could, 3, 4, 5 X in value. So another guy to watch out for, another card to try to pick up. Such a low entry point. There's not much risk. Now into baseball for, once it starts up here, 25th, so it does start this week. Joe Adell is a guy to watch. Joe Adell may be having a starting role with the Angels, supposed to play right field. So definitely a guy to look out for. He has not played before. He does not have any rookie cards with tops. Would be a guy that they'd throw an update potentially if he does end up starting right away. But you can still pick up some of his stuff fairly cheap, even though he's very unproven. Did well in the minors, but in the majors, never played. So you can buy his paper for $6. You can buy his chrome for right around 20. So it could be a card, especially in the short term. I don't know if I'd necessarily buy a bunch of his Bowman Chromes at 20, but maybe the paper, you buy a couple of them, has a couple good games, hits a couple home runs, you buy him right here for 380. He does well, goes way up. So it could be something to look out for as well. Not real big into Joe Adell. I think he could be super solid, but I'd kind of wait for his Topps rookie stuff to come out. Unless you're going to buy a Bowman Chrome autograph. That would be, obviously a little bit better investment, but those are way more expensive. So next up, another baseball pick for the week, another value pick, Ohtani. This guy, dual threat pitcher, home run hitter. Actually went to a Cleveland Indians game at the National a couple years back and watched him hit 2 home runs in a game pretty near to where we were sitting. But you can buy his stuff cheap, man. I mean, this stuff, there's a rainbow foil for $55, rookie for $8, $9. Now, he was hurt, had Tommy John last year, did bat a little bit towards the end of the season, but did not pitch at all. He's supposed to be coming back to pitch this year as well as be batting full-time. So this is a guy, if he did very well his rookie year, if he comes back as well again this year, he was a lights-out pitcher too. So this is something that could go way up. I know guys are picking up these, and I haven't yet, but I'm definitely going to be picking up some Ohtani here before the season starts. Another thing to look at is his Chrome rookies. Chrome, I think, is in for a big uptick in value as well, but you can buy a PSA 10 Chrome rookie for $70. Not a huge investment if you just want to buy raw. $6, $2 shipping. You can get some good deals. So I'd definitely be looking at Ohtani as well. So that's it for this week's Turning a Profit Tuesday video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to see more of these, maybe even more on a weekly basis instead of every few weeks, leave a like below. Let me know in the comments. Make sure if you have not yet, subscribe to Bench Clear Media and check out the other channels. We're going to be doing something awesome here coming up soon with a lot of other content creators called the Hobby Palooza. So make sure you go watch the announcement video on Bench Clear Media and check out the website for that. And make sure you stay tuned, turn on notifications to see what new Bench Clear Media content comes out daily. All right, guys, thanks for watching.